Elon Musk debuts Starlink satellite internet in Indonesia. Yes, the richest man in the world is here. And cutting limestone cliffs in Pecatu becomes national issue. Yeah, more environmental degradation in Bali. Stay tuned for details. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is May 21st, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today in Kampung Bugis? It is 31 degrees Celsius. Humidity is 69%, and the wind speed is 21.4 kilometers per hour. Stuff is blowing around on my balcony. But it is another beautiful day, right? Rainy season seems to be over. I've been saying that because, well, I'm kind of hoping that it's true because I got tired of the rain. On the other hand, we want to make sure we've got enough water to get through until the next rainy season. You never know. Lots and lots and lots of stuff today because of the World Water Forum here in Bali, 18th to the 25th. And big shots all over the island and traffic jams and people going on and lots of stuff. And a lot of weirdness on the foreigners front. But I'm not going to talk about this in this video. Maybe do another one tomorrow. But foreigners stealing alcohol from shops. And one of the weirdest things that I've seen was two young ladies at a Pertamini station doing some video, pouring what looked like gasoline, what was probably water, on her head while the lady on the ground was doing some weird gyrations in a bikini and a cowboy hat. I don't know. And, well, of course, Nilu Gilantic got hold of the video and sent it on to immigration. No word on if the young ladies have been caught. And then some more wandering around wearing t-shirts saying porn. I don't know, just too much weirdness. But World Water Forum, and a lot of that is about this or is in some way related to it. And so let's get started. Elon Musk debuts Starlink satellite internet in Indonesia. So Elon Musk and the health minister, Pak Sandiaga, launched the tech mogul's Starlink satellite internet service in Bali on Sunday, with the aim of improving connectivity in remote regions of Indonesia and helping close the country's healthcare divide. Musk arrived in Bali on Sunday morning and inaugurated the service by Starlink, a wholly owned subsidiary of his aerospace firm SpaceX, at a community health center in Denpasar. Musk said the satellite internet service would help millions of people connect to the internet from remote parts of the country. He said, "We're very excited to bring connectivity to places that either have no connectivity or, as you saw in the demonstration, very low bandwidth connectivity." He said, "So this will be really a lifesaver for remote medical clinics." He noted that it could also be beneficial for the education sector. In addition to the Puskesmas in Denpasar, Starlink was made available at two other Puskesmases in Klungkung and in the remote Aru Island Regency of Maluku. Yes, the clinics held a teleconference with Musk as a trial of the service. A doctor at the Puskesmas in Klungkung said that Starlink has helped his Puskesmas input patient data. He said, "We served more than 3,600 people. Our internet speed was 17 megabytes, and during the test run, it was up to 313. A video presented at the launch showed how high internet speeds enabled the real-time input of data into health app Satu Sehat, such as vaccination records and ultrasound images of pregnancy. The Bali Health Agency said it would start identifying which of Bali's 120 Puskesmases and 520 smaller clinics needed internet access. Speaking to reporters prior to the launch, the health minister said Starlink could digitize services that are struggling with little or no internet. He said Starlink could help them get access to the internet so that the service provided will not be any different from Puskesmases in urban areas. Indonesia continues to struggle to ensure equitable healthcare services, with loud discrepancies between healthcare in urban areas and healthcare in remote rural areas. This problem is also exacerbated by the country's severe lack of specialist doctors, most of whom are located in urban areas. To achieve the World Health Organization's recommendation of a ratio of 0.28 specialist doctors per 1,000 people, Indonesia, with a population of around 275 million now, needs close to 30,000 additional specialists in addition to the 51,000 already here. As the government looks to telemedicine to make the most of Indonesia's existing specialists, Budi hailed Starlink's potential to ensure more equitable access throughout the country. He said, for example, if people in East Nusa Tenggara want to consult with specialist doctors, they have to go to Bali. But with telemedicine, people with diabetes, kidney disease, or other internal diseases can still consult with doctors in Bali without having to travel there. This month, the satellite internet company is expected to trial its service in planned new capital city of Nusantara, currently under development in East Kalimantan. Starlink is already available in Malaysia and the Philippines. And Musk is scheduled to, he talked, I guess, yesterday at the World Water Forum. More on Elon Musk. Elon Musk asked to contribute to mangrove rehabilitation efforts in Bali. Indonesia's coordinating minister for maritime affairs and investments, Pak Luhut, said that he's asked Elon Musk to make contributions to mangrove rehabilitation efforts. Luhut also invited Musk to attend the groundbreaking of the International Mangrove Research Center in Bali. Luhut said that he and Musk discussed the Starship rocket, and the former offered a launch pad for SpaceX's rocket in Biak. I love Biak. Spent a lot of time there when I was out in Papua. Another issue I discussed with him was mangroves, Luhut said. You always talk about rockets and so on, but you should also talk about climate change, and one of the issues is mangroves. Pak Luhut said Indonesia has a mangrove ecosystem rehabilitation program in an area of 600,000 hectares spread across various regions of the country. The first phase planting of mangroves has reached 200,000 hectares, and until now, it still continues. Musk, in response, said that Tesla also cares about the environment. I'm not sure what that means. Lots more going on at the World Water Forum, but not enough time to talk about all the different issues there. Let's talk about this video and photos that went viral and is now gotten comments on a national basis. Cutting limestone cliffs in Pecatu becomes national issue. Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy ensures compliance with environmental regulations. The cutting of limestone cliffs in Pecatu, precisely in the limestone cliff area of Pamuti Beach, has now become a national issue. Even the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy has added his 2 cents or 2 rupiahs to the discussion. He said he's received reports regarding the construction of tourism accommodation, which has sparked a controversy. In the report, it's known that development in the limestone cliff area is underway and is being marketed by developers. Pak Sandiaga said that his party is checking and verifying the environmental impact analysis, AMDAL, data that has been received. He said, we're checking, and this is being marketed by the developers, and if I'm not mistaken, there is AMDAL data, and we're going to make sure that it complies with regulation. It was further explained that his party had obtained initial data and was currently verifying it regarding cliff cutting in Pecatu. Pak Sandiaga emphasized the importance of environmental sustainability in any development in Bali, considering that this island is a destination that requires nature conservation, when we're not covering up the land with beach clubs and villas and hotels and amusement parks and all sorts of other things. Pak Luhut said development can open up business opportunities and jobs. However, we must ensure that nature is protected because of the Balinese principles. He emphasized that development in Bali must refer to regulations that are in accordance with Balinese taksu and the spirit of protecting and preserving the environment. Apart from that, in the future, the party will ensure that all developers in Bali refer to regulations that are in accordance with Balinese taksu and the spirit of protecting and preserving the environment. To avoid over-tourism and overbuilding, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Pak Sandiaga stated that the development evaluation would be coordinated with the acting governor of Bali. He said, "We want development to have a positive impact on the Balinese people." He said, "It's important for investors to realize the Balinese concept, which emphasizes a balance between humans, the environment, and a spiritual relationship with God." And so, he said, concrete steps must be taken to avoid dredging hills and other natural damage. He said such hill dredging has been stopped, and we will ensure that the licensing process is carried out strictly. And on the same occasion, the head of the Bali Provincial Tourism Office, Pak Pohlmann, emphasized the importance of complying with spatial planning regulations set by the regional government in every development carried out in Bali. He said Bali already has regulations governing spatial planning, which determines how to manage 18 areas in 4 special regions in Bali. He said, according to the regulation, it's clear what can be built. Details regarding the provisions in each area have been made by the district and city governments. However, he admitted that there were several things that still needed to be confirmed with the district regarding the implementation of the regulation. He said, meetings will be held to discuss this. And so there is an outcry about this project going on, and it is getting a lot of comments from the public about what is happening with the destruction of the limestone cliffs and who is responsible and what is going to be done. And so we have the World Water Forum here, and we've got environmental destruction going on. And what about Walhi? Walhi, the environmental NGO. Walhi Bali asked government to stop projects that damage Subak and water exploitation. So Walhi has provided the response regarding the 10th World Water Forum being held in Bali. It asks the government to stop projects that damage Subak and are greedy for water. The director of Walhi said that in Bali there's a lot of infrastructure development that degrades and even eliminates Subak or traditional water irrigation systems in Bali. And if you've been here, I'm sure you've seen them. They are some amazing things. According to him, one of them is the policy to build the Gili-Manuk-Mengwi Toll Road. He said that this project will penetrate 480 hectares of productive rice fields in 98 Subak areas throughout the area. The construction of the Sangsit Integrated Port, which will be built in North Bali, will also penetrate 26,000 square meters of rice fields and threaten 4 Subaks in the area. Furthermore, there is the Bali Cultural Center in Klungkung, which has sacrificed up to 9.38 hectares of rice fields and caused the Gunaksa Subak to be affected. He said these projects actually threaten water security and prosperity, which of course will have an impact on agricultural use of food crops, including cultural degradation and the loss of Subak on all of the project sites. Subaks, with its natural hydrological function, are a natural reservoir for water. Each hectare can hold 3,000 tons of water if the water level is at 7 centimeters. If Subak continues to decrease and run out, Bali will be easily hit by disasters such as floods, he said. He's also highlighted the massive land conversion due to the construction of tourism accommodations and the consumption of a lot of water in the operational activities. The construction of hotels and other tourism accommodation facilities has increased sharply, he said, even 2 to 3 times. Data from Central Statistics Agency shows that in 2000, the number of star hotels was 113. In 2023, 541. This figure shows very significant growth, especially as several experts have stated that Bali has over-tourism and even overbuilt. Many studies have revealed that tourism accommodation is an industry that is greedy for water, where in several studies it stated that one hotel room requires 800 liters of water per day. Infrastructure development, which causes land conversion and reduces the number of Subaks in Bali, is certainly a real thing that has led Bali to its water crisis. And water crisis was talked about over and over again a few years ago, and construction continues to go on along the beaches with the fancy beach clubs and everywhere else with these little villages, these self-contained villages, more villas, more hotels, more restaurants, more of everything to bring in more and more tourists, even though the government says we want to keep from being over-touristed. let's bring in as many as we can, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So according to the director, there are many findings that tourism accommodations use more underground water coupled with the designation of green areas, which until now does not meet the criteria of 30%, according to the area in the regulatory provisions. So, he said, we urge policymakers to stop all forms of extractive development and worsen environmental conditions which threaten water availability and which threaten Subak in Bali. Here's something that's interesting. I was talking the other day about the drug lab and the hydroponic marijuana garden in the villa, and Pak Sandiaga is talking about this again. He says, producing drugs and creating marijuana gardens, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy Sandiaga Uno asked Russian and Ukrainian foreigners to respect local wisdom. The case of the drug factory and marijuana plantation in Canggu has received special attention from the government. Pak Sandiaga said there must be special attention for Russian and Ukrainian foreigners in Bali. This cannot be separated from several incidents in Bali which recently involved foreign nationals. One of them was some time ago where there were Russian and Ukrainian foreigners who used Kitas investors' visas but were involved in the discovery of a drug lab in North Kuta. There must be special attention, he said, even though the number of tourist visits from Russians and Ukrainians is not the highest. He also said that the number of investments by Russian and Ukrainian foreigners in Bali was not the largest, but he said they have the potential to manage their investments related to the digital economy and several breakthroughs that we are making to increase the amount of investment here in Bali. Going to talk about that in just a second. Despite having potential in the digital economy, Sandiaga said that Russian and Ukrainian foreigners must also refer to legal aspects and norms that apply in Indonesia. Pak Sandiaga said they must comply with all local wisdom and also applicable laws and regulations in Indonesia. What about this? Russian Airlines interested in opening flights to Bali. Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, positive impact on society. 2 airlines from Russia expressed interest in opening direct flights to Indonesia, including Bali. Pak Sandiaga welcomed this information. We continue to promote direct flights that used to exist, but it stopped, the Russia to Bali flights. He said, of course, this is the result of our hard work in increasing the number of flights. Apart from encouraging additional flights, there is a continuation of focus on quality tourism. Really? It not only increases the number of tourists, but has a longer stay. And it also has positive impact on the Balinese people, especially from an economic perspective. It is hoped, he said, that we can bring together cooperation from the community because the majority of tourists behave well. And we really appreciate what's being complained about by Balinese and other Indonesians about foreigners creating problems. He said, let's work together so that the quality of tourism increases, providing a wider economic impact. Regarding how much interest Russian tourists have in Indonesia, especially Bali, the minister said that the amount of increase is increasing, the amount of interest is increasing, and that he hopes that this will continue on in terms of investment and the transfer of technology information. And just an update on the Ukrainians and Russian and Indonesian that were caught with the drug lab and the hydroponic garden. They are facing the death penalty here. Okay, that is it for today. A lot of stuff to do, Wow, it's so busy right now. Okay, thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today or many people. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.